In this video we will demonstrate how to connect a hybrid appliance onto implant abutments. Before we begin, we would like to mention that this case is for CAD training purposes only, and should not be taken as a clinical example. The complexities of the implant locations make this case interesting to deal with. However, we recognize that this specific case may not represent the best clinical treatment plan. For the purpose of explaining the basic concepts, we have left out some of the components and have only kept those components which are required for completing the hybrid. If you do not have your own abutment sleeves for your abutments, you can use the Implant Abutment Closure submenu, and create your own. Please check out the video which demonstrates this procedure. The hybrid has already been smoothed down on the tissue fitting surface, and we will briefly hide this. To begin, select one of the abutment sleeves, then navigate to the Implant Crown submenu in the Crown and Bridge module. Here press the Select One Abutment and Make Tube button. This has created the blue transparent tube. Again, ensure the blue tube is facing in the correct direction. This was discussed in the previous video. Accept the tube. Continue this way and create all the other tubes for the remaining abutment sleeves. If there are any thin areas in the hybrid, these can be shown by using the Clearance Zone button. An outline of the thin areas is now shown, and these areas correlate more or less to the thickness of the underlying blue tubes. We have thin areas in these two locations over here, and they will need to be thickened slightly. To do this, use the Inflate Deflate button on the menu. Carefully run the brush over the thin areas, to thicken them slightly, then exit this function. To view the clearance zone, we will briefly hide the dental model. In order to finalize the connection between the abutment sleeves and the hybrid, the algorithms will now clear away the inner areas which are taken up by the implants. To complete the process, press the Generate Implant Fixture button on the menu. All abutment interfaces have now been created. Finally, smooth down the area by using the Smooth Crown with Protection button. Exit this feature when you are done. Let us now proceed and create the screw channels for the hybrid. Select the hybrid, then toggle into X-ray mode. Creating the screw holes is done individually, since this depends on the height of the screw chamber, and the angle at which the screw is inserted. Select one of the screw hole cutting tools, then enter the diameter of the screw head into the slider bar. The default diameter is 2.6 mm, but this may differ from system to system. Make sure you enter the same value on the X and Y slider bar. We will zoom in a little to demonstrate. Use the T key to access the directional widget on the left-hand side menu, then drag the screw hole cutting tool upwards by using the blue arrow. It is not possible to place the cutting tool away from the internal screw chamber where the screw needs to be inserted. The cutting tool needs to pierce through the abutment sleeve, and into the screw head chamber. We will drag this down a little. If you would like to angle the screw hole, you can do this too. We will briefly create a cross-section by using the Alt and the B key. To angle the cutting tool, make sure it is selected, then navigate to the menu and access the slider bars. Here, move the Y slider to your preferred angle. Ensure the angle is a viable option for your implant system. A too steep angle could cause the screw not to pass all the way through the screw hole. Notice how after the cutting tool is angled, a small gap appears on the anterior side of the screw head. To remedy this, and to make sure the screw hole goes all the way through and into the chamber, drag the cutting tool downwards slightly. You may also need to scale the cutting tool slightly, to fit the new angled location. We will use the S and the X shortcut keys. We will exit the cross-section again, and we'll speed up the video while we align the other screw hole cutting tools. When you are satisfied with the position, select the hybrid, then press the Select Fixture and Cut Hole button. The screw holes have now been generated, and the cutting tools can now be hidden by using the toggle icon on the menu. With this we will conclude the tutorial. Thanks for watching this video.